Back to our 2025 Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings. Coming in at number 23 with a bit of an asterisk that we'll get to, it's Cameron Schmidt of the Vancouvere Giants.
Yes, Ross, he plays for the Giants, but he is anything but a Giant in stature. But don't overlook him, even though it's easy to do when he's only 5'8", because this guy is an absolute water bug out on the ice. Cameron Schmidt, right winger with the Vancouvere Giants. He put up big numbers this year in 61 games, 40 goals, 38 assists, 78 points total. Finished a -7, and then in the playoffs, he popped off too. Things didn't go the Giants' way, unfortunately, as they ran into a hot Spokane Chiefs team. But in 5 games, he had 9 points, including 4 goals in 5 games. So Cameron Schmidt had his guy when it came to the playoffs.
He is a January 07 birthday, so turned 18 in the middle of this season. He's now 5'8". He was listed previously at 5'7" at the scouting combine. Came in at 5'8", 160 pounds, but 40 goals is 40 goals. I don't care whether you're 5'2" or 6'8". That's impressive. And he did it on a team where, let's be honest here, without Cameron Schmidt putting up those points, do they even make the playoffs in the WHL? I think would be a fair conversation to have. He led that team wholeheartedly, had 6 more points than the next player who happened to be a defenseman. He had 16 more points than the next forward on that team. He was their everything in all situations. And there's a reason why Craig Button is so high on him at 17th overall. Fun fact, Craig Button's previous rankings had Cameron Schmidt at 8th overall. He has undeniable talent. Everyone else is a little bit lower. Locked On NHL Prospects, Sebastian has him at 20 on his list. Elite Prospects at 22. McKean's had him at 22. That's where the asterisk comes in. But they have now put Blake Fiddler at 22, and they have omitted Cameron Schmidt from their top 32. They do not see him right now as a first-round talent. Neither does Scott Wheeler. He has Cameron Schmidt at 36 on his list. Corey Pronman did a top 36 and did not include Cameron Schmidt. At the midterms, Bob McKenzie had him at 30th on his list. In the playoffs, Cameron Schmidt had 9 points, again, leading the team in that category. Had the most goals on the team as well with 4, double anybody else. I just feel like if this guy was playing in a top tier organization at this time, nothing against Vancouver, but just where they are in their rebuild cycle, like if you put him on Medicine Hat, the team that won the Western Hockey League, or Spokane, the team that dummied Vancouver in the playoffs, how many points does he put up there?
Well, maybe less, Ross.
No chance.
Because he, like you said, he was the be-all, end-all guy for this team. And sometimes to a detriment, though. Like, one of Wheeler's comments and why he has him lower than some other guys is Wheeler mentions he's frustrated by the shot selection and that Cameron Schmidt's always trying to do everything by himself. So I guess I hear what you're saying. If he had some more help, he'd be able to facilitate.
With the shot like that?
Yeah. And it's an incredible shot. EP gave him best shot of the draft, of the entire draft, and best straight line skater, even higher skating grades than Cullen Potter, who we just covered, who was an excellent skater. So I guess I'll give it to you. He probably does put up more points on a better team.
And look, you just mentioned exactly where I was going with this. What are the 2 most important things to be a good hockey player? Skating and shooting.
It's important.
And they have him at Elite Prospects, their scouting polls. This isn't just what they think. This is what the NHL scouts think, that he's number 1 in both straight line skating and shooting. So how on earth is he potentially not a first-round pick?
I think that's where the 5'8", 160 pounds comes into this, and I hate to do this. Cameron Schmidt is probably so sick of hearing about this, and for a little guy, he actually does play pretty physical. But again, that might be a detriment. Some scouts are worried that he plays above his size, and in junior, that might not be a big problem. But in the pros, if you think you're a scrappy bulldog and you go up against some of the tall tree hulking defensemen and you think, hey, I'm not going to back down from this guy, I'm going to go in there, you're going to get reverse hit very hard, especially with the speed he has. If he's coming in fast and gets reverse hit, it could cause problems. Or maybe he necessarily doesn't always have his head up when he's zipping through the zone, and that's where issues start to happen. So this is a guy that has serious high risk, high reward, because talked about it, best shot, best straight line skater. If that pans out, you're looking at Cole Caulfield type player. EP called him a turbocharged Alex DeBrincat. Say what you want on the Locked On Senators podcast about Cole Caulfield and Alex DeBrincat, maybe not two of our favorite players, but those guys are little guys that can score and at efficient rates and consistently in the NHL. And I think Cameron Schmidt could do it too.
I think so too, but you have to have the understanding that there's a world where he could be a 100-point guy in the American Hockey League for his career. I feel like this is boom, or maybe not an NHLer at all.
Yeah, and that's fair, and because he's not going to play a bottom six role, right? So like if he can't crack a top six part of the lineup and can't beat opponents' top defenders and shut down D pairs, I don't know where his place is going to be in the NHL. But I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but that's why you see some scouts that are like, man, the skill is undeniable, you got to rank this guy high. And then other scouts that are like, if this doesn't pan out, what are you left with?
Yeah, didn't really have the most impact at the World Under-18s. Had 2 goals and an assist in the first game, a 9-2 win over Slovakia, and then went pointless for 5 straight before getting 1 assist in a 7-0 win in the gold medal game against Sweden. So in a bottom 6 role, right? He was only averaging about 15 minutes per game during that tournament. If you tell me, though, that he's top 5 in goals in this draft class 10 years from now, I believe you. And if you told me that he's not top 10 in games played, or not even top 20 in games played, I would believe you as well. So teams are going to have to do their due diligence. It's unfortunate for him that you got to get drafted this young, because I feel like next season could be a pivotal one in terms of establishing that, hey, I'm here. This Vancouver team likely going to be a bit better next year. What's he going to do? He's going to be fascinating to follow no matter whether your team drafts him or not, because he is a true wild card in this. And since you mentioned DeBrincat, it's worth noting that after destroying junior hockey the year after his teammate, you might have heard of him, Connor McDavid, went to the NHL. So he didn't have Connor McDavid. He did, however, have Dylan Strome, another great playmaker. But DeBrincat went 39th overall.
Yeah.
Not where you think, or not where you would, but where you think Cameron Schmidt would go. Does he go higher than DeBrincat's 39th overall or after?
Man, in my mind, I don't see how he doesn't get picked in the top round. But what do I think will happen? I'm going to say late second, or early second.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah. One of the first players off the board in the second round is my guess. There's another player, and it's a team that has no problem taking smaller players. In this case, they traded for him. But Logan Stankoven went 47th overall in his draft year, and that's worked out pretty darn well. So how many Sens stars for Cameron Schmidt?
I gave him 4 Sens stars, Ross. This is not the type of player the Ottawa Senators like. I would be shocked if they took
He's
Cameron
probably not top 100 on their list.
Yeah, honestly, probably not. I wouldn't even be surprised if they didn't even talk to him, unless he had a good joke ready for them. But I like this guy. I believe he can get it done. These are the types of guys. Cameron Schmidt's had a chip on his shoulder his entire life. He is hungry to prove everyone wrong and be like, why would you think I can't be an Alex DeBrincat, a Cole Caulfield, a Logan Stankoven? Go down the list of all those little guys that actually end up playing and working out very well. So I believe in him. I don't think the Sens will draft him. 4-star player.
Who's the smallest player in Sens history that's had a big impact?
I mean, Tyler Ennis is kind of small.
Brian Gibbons had a good run.
Yeah, Corey Conacher did not have a big impact.
No,
but that's a small guy. Oh, Eric Branstrom, easy.
Shut up. Let us know in the comments if we missed anybody there. But Cameron Schmidt comes in at number 23 on our Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings. Again, with a bit of an asterisk with the average rank of 24.5. He would have slid down our board after McKeen's put him lower. But 23rd on our list for all of our draft profiles. Make sure to check us out on YouTube in the mock draft, where if he is a first round pick, does Cameron Schmidt end up?